I was brought up by a single mother who died when I was only 15. My mother worked as a private tutor, and honestly, things were incredibly difficult for us. She struggled tirelessly to meet the basic needs of my two younger siblings and me. Then came a time when my mother fell severely ill. She stayed home for a long stretch due to the sickness. Though she managed to receive her salary for 2 months despite her infrequent attendance, she was eventually replaced. The school cited the need for someone more active and stated they could no longer accommodate her long absences. My mother suffered from syphilis, a disease that, if left untreated, can lead to severe organ damage and death. Unfortunately, my father was a habitual cheating husband, going out with several women. My innocent mother suffered for his infidelity. This disease and his actions were the twin disasters that destroyed our family. He suddenly met someone else he claimed to love so much and eventually kicked my mother, my siblings, and me his own children out of the house cause the woman he claimed had fallen in love with demanded it. Mom was left struggling to raise us while simultaneously battling the disease and the desperate need for treatment funds. There was a period when my mother simply could not afford to buy me a new pair of shoes. She eventually asked me, with a deep reluctance I sensed even then, to contact my father and ask him for the money. I phoned him. In those days, phones were not common, and making a single call cost a significant amount of money, an extra burden given that we barely had enough food. I called him repeatedly over several weeks. He kept telling me to call him back, week after week. Finally, after nearly 4 weeks of constant effort and dwindling funds, he told me flatly to continue waiting and cut the call. This was devastating to me, a young boy. The pain of rejection was a raw, stinging wound, but I chose to brave the pain and the humiliation, determined not to share this crushing truth with my already suffering mother. Then, an act of kindness. One of my classmates at the boys' primary school, the son of a senior-ranking government official, noticed my worn-out sneakers. Without me having to ask, this friend quietly gave me his extra pair of brand-new school shoes. I considered this unexpected generosity a true act of divine providence. The day I went home wearing those shoes, Mom's face lit up. She wrongly assumed my father had bought them. In her excitement, she asked me to confirm it. When I informed her that my friend had given me the shoes and not my dad, her expression hardened. She insisted on knowing what my father's reaction to my requests had been. After her heavy insistence, I was forced to tell her the whole, painful truth. I remember watching Mom cry that day. She wept harder than I had ever seen. Loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. She held me tight and told me that God would bless me with or without my father, as long as I worked hard. But she went on to speak words that have sunk in my soul till this very day. Terrence, you will succeed, and God will honor you. But if you ever forgive that father of yours, you are as much ado, as he is. My mother died few months not long after that. She was only 36, loudly crying. Several years later, after struggling through a period of immense hardship, my sisters went to stay with grandma in the village, dropped out of school fully depending on agriculture. We struggled so much, a time I won't go into detail about for the sake of my mental health. Well, God finally honored her blessings upon my life. The same boy who gave me his shoes told his parents about my situation, and they generously allowed me to stay with them. They took me in as their son and showed me the unwavering love of a true father and mother. I will be forever grateful to them. During those struggling years, I never once bothered to contact my biological father. He, in turn, never bothered to know if I was dead or alive. In fact, he later moved to another town. Even after I received a fully funded scholarship to travel abroad, years passed and we never spoke. It's been 15 years since I left my hometown and now I'm back and I am doing well, married with 1 child. But I have never bothered to look for him. In truth, I never cared. Thoughts of him rarely cross my mind. All I feel for him is a cold, deep-seated hatred. 3 weeks ago, my father suddenly showed up. He has fallen into difficult times. The same woman he sacrificed his family for left him years ago, and even the pregnancy he thought was his belonged to another man. Now, he wants forgiveness, and at the same time, he wants me to provide money for his surgery because he is suffering from a sickness at old age that could needs urgent surgery. I lost my father a long time ago. He is DD to me. All I feel for him right now is hatred. I'm not even sure how I should feel or what I should do about him continually showing